You're either experiencing chaos or crushing it. Which one is your franchise? Now I know which one you want to be, so let me show you how to get there. Hi everyone, I'm your host. Now this lesson is all about how to build and monitor a franchise action plan step by step, so let's jump right into it. Now before we get started, just a quick reminder that this video is part of our Franchise Manager online course. You can follow us on social media to learn more and access the rest of the course. Okay, so imagine if you will that your franchise is like a ship. If you don't have a clear direction, you're going to be all over the place. You won't know what actions to take or how to prioritize them. And when this happens, stress fills the void. But when you have a well thought out plan, then things operate smoothly and the franchise gets where it needs to go. So in this lesson, we'll cover everything you need to do to develop your action plan. And once you have it, we'll show you how to monitor it. Now in part 1, we'll walk through the steps of developing your action plan. In part 2, we'll deep dive into the components of a great action plan. And in part 3, we'll talk about how to track and monitor the plan once you've created it. So, part 1, developing your action plan. There are 10 steps involved here, and they are as follows. No. 1. Franchise needs assessment. Now, before you can really move forward, you need to get a sense of where you stand. So conduct surveys and interviews with your franchisees and even customers to determine where the gaps are. Perhaps you're getting complaints about slow response times to support tickets or requests. Maybe you hear from franchisees that they need additional training in certain areas. All of this input will help you identify the areas where you need to focus your efforts. Next, set strategic goals. Now, these should be SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Now, whatever you do, make sure that your goals are aligned with the vision of the franchisor, and also with the needs that you uncovered in the previous step. Number 3, develop standard operating procedures, or SOPs. This is a standard operations manual that covers every aspect of your business. Now, this will help ensure that each location operates in a consistent way, regardless of who's running it. And remember, this is not a training manual. This is just meant to outline the different procedures that need to be followed. It's a step-by-step instructions on how to handle different situations or perform different tasks. Next, plan training programs. Now, this should include customer service protocols, product knowledge, use of systems and software, how to open and close the business, and so on. Training is critical to the success of any franchise, so make sure that you create a robust program that will help your franchisees and their employees succeed. Now, this might be done through online courses or videos or in-person workshops. Either way, make sure that your new franchisees go through this training and get certified before they open their doors. Number 5, establish communication channels. Now, this is a two-way street. You need to keep franchisees informed of important news, updates, and alerts, but you also need to give them a way to communicate back to you. So think about newsletters, regular webinars, or an online portal where franchisees can post questions and get answers. Number 6, marketing and brand support. Make sure that you provide franchisees with the tools they need to market their business. This might include templates for different types of marketing materials, sample campaigns, scripts, and brand guidelines to ensure that they're all on the same page when it comes to representing your brand. Next, performance monitoring. What metrics will you use to measure success? This could include sales numbers, audit results, customer satisfaction scores, and so on. By tracking these metrics, you'll be able to see how your franchise is performing and make adjustments as needed. Next, support and resolution. What will you do when something goes wrong? Do you have field support staff? How will they be assigned? What are the support hours? Be sure to establish a clear process for providing support so that franchisees know how to get help when they need it. The quicker you can resolve issues, the better. Next, financial controls. Keep track of income and expenses, both at the franchisor and franchisee level. Review royalty payments and make sure that franchisees are adhering to the financial policies outlined in the franchise disclosure document, or FDD. Create and monitor budgets and financial projections. And finally, number 10, continuous improvement. Use the feedback that you get from franchisees and customers to constantly improve your SOPs and training programs. The goal is to make them as detailed and helpful as possible, so use the data to guide you and make changes as needed. So now that you know the steps involved in creating a franchise action plan, let's take a look at the components of a great plan. First, you need to have clear goals. Now, this means setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So take the time to set goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Second, clearly define tasks. Who's responsible for what? If you want your action plan to be effective, then you need to clearly define the tasks that need to be completed and who's responsible for completing them. Now, this will help ensure that everyone is on the same page and working towards the same goals. Third, identify resources. What resources are needed to complete the tasks? Now, this could include budget, tools, or people. Without the right resources, your franchise will struggle to execute on its action plan. So make sure that you identify what's needed up front and that you allocate enough resources to get the job done right. Fourth, establish timelines. When will each task be completed? Now, this is important for two reasons. First, it helps keep everyone accountable. When deadlines are looming, people tend to work faster. Second, it forces you to be realistic about what can be accomplished. When you're first starting out, it's easy to set unrealistic timelines. Don't do this. Be realistic and build in some buffer time, just in case. Fifth, determine KPIs. Key performance indicators, or KPIs, are metrics that you can use to track progress and measure success. Now, when developing your action plan, be sure to identify the KPIs that you'll use to measure progress. This will help you stay focused on what's important and make sure that your franchise is on track to meet its goals. Sixth, risk management. What are the potential risks that could derail your action plan, and what will you do to mitigate them? Now, this is an important step because it helps you anticipate problems and develop solutions. By taking the time to identify potential risks and develop mitigation strategies, you'll be better equipped to keep your action plan on track. So now that you've developed your action plan, how will you monitor it? Well, in this section, we'll walk you through the steps that you need to take to track progress and make sure that your franchise stays on track. First, use progress reports. A progress report is a document that outlines the status of a project or task, and it's useful for keeping everyone informed and on track. Now, progress reports should include information such as the current status of a task, any roadblocks that are being encountered, and the projected completion date. Second, use status updates. Now, in addition to progress reports, you may also want to use status updates such as email or instant message updates to communicate changes and keep everyone informed. This is especially useful for keeping remote teams informed. Third, track milestones. Now, milestones are key dates that need to be met in order to stay on track. For example, if your action plan includes launching a new website, a milestone might be the date that the website is scheduled to go live. By tracking milestones, you can quickly see if your franchise is on track or if there are any delays that need to be addressed. Fourth, monitor KPIs and metrics. As we mentioned earlier, KPIs, or key performance indicators, are metrics that you use to track progress and measure success. Now, in addition to KPIs, there are a variety of other metrics that you can use to monitor your action plan. For example, you might track the number of tasks completed, the amount of time spent on each task, or the number of roadblocks that have been encountered. By tracking these metrics, you can quickly see how your franchise is performing and make adjustments as needed. Fifth, hold regular team check-ins. Now, team check-ins are a great way to keep everyone on track and to address any issues that come up. During a team check-in, team members can discuss the progress of tasks, any roadblocks that they're encountering, and any other relevant information. Team check-ins should be held regularly, such as on a weekly basis, to ensure that everyone is on track. Sixth, use project management tools. Now, there are a variety of project management tools that can help you monitor your action plan. Some popular options include Trello, Asana, and Monday. These tools allow you to track tasks, set deadlines, and monitor progress. Seventh, track risks, budgets, and feedback. Now, it's important to track risks, budgets, and feedback as part of your action planning process. Now, risks can derail your action plan, so it's important to be aware of potential risks and to develop mitigation strategies. Now, budgets can impact your ability to execute on your action plan, so it's important to track expenses and make sure that you're staying on track. Now, feedback is essential for making improvements and adjustments along the way, so be sure to collect feedback from franchisees and customers and use it to make changes as needed. And finally, end-of-phase reviews. At the end of each phase of your action plan, it's important to hold a review meeting. Now, during the review meeting with your franchise teams, discuss what went well, what did not go so well, and what could be improved upon in the next phase. This will help you learn from your mistakes and make changes as needed. And that's it. Those are the steps that you need to take to develop and monitor a franchise action plan. By following these steps, you'll be able to create a plan that helps your franchise run smoothly and achieve its goals. Franchise action plans are critical for the success of any franchise. They provide structure, drive performance, and ensure brand consistency. With an action plan in place, you'll be well on your way to building a successful franchise. So what are you waiting for? Start building your action plan today. Thanks for watching. Let's see you next time.